that text was not meant for me.
No,
I
it's
didn't
meant
think it
for
was.
Jessica.
Jessica Ace?
No, Jessica Walter. I don't know.
I'll keep an eye out for your guest.
Thanks, man. Can't stand them. This is what happened with IBA all the time for us.
Has he been here before? He knows where to
Yeah,
go?
he did the TV interview with me.
Right. Well, hopefully he comes in. Have a good show.
Thanks. Here we go. Well, good morning. Oh, hey, good morning, everybody, and thanks for joining us for the Sun Prairie Real Estate Show. I'm your host, Bill Baker. Glad to be here. It's a Wednesday. I don't know if it's going to be a ducky day, what kind of day, but it's a day that will live in infamy. That's all I know. It's a day. We're trying to do a lot of different things here, but that's okay. Hey, you're listening to 103.5 WLSP, The Sun, right here in beautiful Sun Prairie. We're underwritten by those wonderful folks at the Bank of Sun Prairie, the Baker Realty Group, and, of course, Wintrust Mortgage. Hey, we got a good show today, waiting for our guests to get here, but we got some other things we can chat about in the meanwhile, the meantime, the mean thing, whatever we're doing, you know what I'm saying? And we'll talk about basically the market. But we have Josh Lavik, who is the superstar that's on TVW, and who is the host of Wisconsin Homes. He's going to be joining us. Josh is a buddy of ours, somebody I've known for a long time in real estate. We worked together at Keller Williams when we were both realtors there. Then also when we joined EXP. So we've both been around for a long time and just doing the things that we do, you know, every day, selling some real estate. He does it on a different location. He's in Monona, but just like other real estate agents that are out there, we have a larger market than that. I live in Sun Prairie. Sun Prairie is my area, and that's what I like. But it's right now we cover a large area, and he's just walking into the studio.
Oh, hey, here we go.
Go ahead, Josh.
How's everybody doing today?
But
He's
we're
coming
doing
in
it.
hot.
While you're settling in, your headphones are there. Let's go over and talk to the lady, the lady of lending, the woman that makes things happen for home loans, that gets the magic going. And how many years? 15 years we've been working. You've never dropped a deal. And folks, that is so important. Can you hear?
Okay. I can, yeah.
Okay.
I may need to step out for just a minute.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah.
Man, the guy's so busy. He's got to do deals and all this stuff.
I don't
You
know,
know.
but, yeah, I got to call.
Hey, you got to do them right when they're going on. You got to be on it.
He's got to call a man about a thing.
About a house, hopefully.
But hey, let's talk about Laura Stanfield. Welcome. We've been doing this forever.
We have, yeah.
You know, we're going on 8 years.
On the radio?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
We introduced real estate to radio. We introduced Facebook Live to radio.
We've introduced lots of people
We have.
to Facebook and radio.
We have. I was telling Josh, it seems like every time we have a realtor on here, they sell something.
Ooh, good juju maybe. Why not?
You gotta
Well-
pull your microphone to you.
Oh, okay. A little
Grab it with
closer.
both hands.
There we go. All right.
See, look, it's like driving a car.
Yeah, I know how to drive. I
Wow,
got
you're
here.
kind
Oh,
of
man.
moving the
Look at
whole
that.
thing. Calm down
See?
over there.
You gotta get it.
That's what he told me to do. I don't know.
All right, fine. No,
Can you hear me now?
I can hear
he's
you
being
now.
aggressive
Oh, boy.
with the microphone,
Oh,
not
you
you.
gotta mess with the microphone, because, you know, what else is there? You gotta talk. Hey, what's going on in the world of mortgages?
Oh my gosh, we finally have some good news today. Woo!
Oh, we
I
went below
was
7?
praying
Yeah.
for it, and it's happening.
Seriously.
We don't know though how long it's gonna last, right? But so far so good today.
It's gonna last forever.
What are rates at today for 30-year?
Finally dropped below 7, so
Ah.
6.875.
Okay.
We were, yeah. Oh my gosh, thank goodness. And then there's a bond rollover today at 1 o'clock, I think it is. So we might see a little bit more improvement, maybe. And then tomorrow, more data is being released that is expected to be favorable. So we'll see.
What's
Man, it would
what's
be
the
nice.
status on inflation, right? Because from my understanding
Inflation
is
numbers
that's
are
Still, okay.
But we're
They're
still around 3. I mean, the CPIs were like 3.2 or something like
Yeah,
that.
that's pretty good.
Yeah.
I think-
Which is, well,
what
compared to
they're
last year.
Well, yeah.
8% last
Yeah.
year.
Yeah, ridiculous.
But still, you know, the Fed
It's
wants
not at
2.
their magic number,
Yeah.
yeah, but it's come down a lot. So that's what's helping rates.
Well, the other thing, but there's a lag in, when you calculate CPI, there's a lag in there. And
Yeah.
so they're like 2 months behind right now. If you think
They've
about
been
that.
behind for more than that.
But it's a 3%
Months.
over like a 12-month average, so that's
Yeah.
not 3%. But, and, you know, with unemployment's still good. We're like
Yeah.
3.2, something like that on that also. So
Yeah.
so the market's good. We just don't have any damn houses to sell.
Yeah, well, there is that, the limited inventory.
That's true.
I've noticed
Well,
that for sure.
but like we've been talking about, so many people locked in at 2 or 3%. So if we see rates drop into the 5s, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll be willing to let go of their 2 or 3%.
Yeah, that's true.
Locking in 5 or 6%, something like that.
There's
So-
an echo.
We'll see.
Sorry about that. Josh had to step out of the room for a minute, so.
Because he's doing some deals,
Yeah,
maybe,
he's
huh?
doing some- he's working. I knew this was going to happen, and that's okay. No problem at all. Sun Prairie, here's what you need to know about what's going on. Oh, first of all, I want to say thank you because I had a request to review the statistics that we did last week, talking about the ranges, the price ranges, and the trending that I'm seeing out there. And first of all, I was just flattered. So I mean, but then I love talking stats, and it's a good thing. But also about the trends. Let me get this sheet up while he's doing that. While he's doing his thing. So what we were talking about last week was that I saw a trend in the way the pricing's occurring in Sun Prairie. And I broke it out in categories: 200,000, 300,000, 400,000, 500,000, 600,000. Nothing over 600,000. And in each of those categories, I found that if you're in the 200,000 price range, that you're paying 13.5% over the asking price, or on average $32,000. So, I mean, we're looking at these numbers like a house that was listed at 235,000 sold for 257. One at 245 sold at 283. And of course, they had all competing offers. But if you go to the 300 category, 300,000 price level, there is a little bit less competition. You're 5% over, 5.2% over the asking price, or an average of $19,240. If I move into the 400,000 category, you're 1.5% above asking, and an average of $6,700. Now, with that said, in that category, we had there were 4 homes. The highest was 50,000 over, and then there was 30,000, 30,000, 33,000. So there's some bigger numbers in there. And then let me go to the next one on this. The 500,000 category, negative numbers. We are minus 0.06, which is in other words, it's selling below the asking price. There was one that sold above at 10,000 above the asking price, but most of them are under. And if we go to the 600s, everything was under asking price. So the trend there is the higher you go up, the better the deals. But you got to be careful. And here's what I'm going to tell you about. Here's the caveat I want to tell you. Is that it depends on who you're working with. If you're working with a realtor that doesn't know the market, doesn't know the hyper-focused market of the city that you're buying in, and it's not just comps, look for the trend. Say to them, well, what's the trend on this? You know, what's the difference between listing and asking price? Stuff like that. I mean, it's and sold price. You got to have that to protect you. You really do. And I'm saying this not because I'm trying to hurt anybody. I'm trying to do it to protect you as a consumer. Because if you know these numbers, you won't pay $30,000 over the asking price. And the market's like that right now. There's a trend. People have it in their mind. You're going to pay over asking price. You're going to pay over asking price. Now, today, there's several houses that are on the market. I'm thinking that our show, Laura, is getting through to some of the listing agents. because of the ones that are existing houses, that means not new construction, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 houses had price reductions that were sizable. I'm talking like 30,000, 40,000 price reductions. They were huge when you compare them.
Wow, really?
Yeah, and that shows you again another market shift.
Oh yeah,
It shows you another
sure
market.
does.
So it's like I said, the market is shifting, and you heard it here first on our show, didn't they?
Well, that's what's interesting, and we talked about this before because it takes a while for people to, I don't know, believe it, absorb it, like really, I don't know, because I've been saying this to a couple of buyers, hang in there. If you really want to buy a house, hang in there, because I feel like we are seeing a shift.
Mhm.
One, we've lost a lot of buyers
Yeah.
because rates are high and they're sick of the competition and all this stuff. I get that, but for those who have stayed in it, I think there's a lot more possibility.
Yeah, I agree.
Prices coming down, few more houses on the market, not near enough, but you have less competition.
Yeah.
So stay in it.
Just stay there. Stay. But again, and we were talking, as we were saying, you've got to have somebody that's experienced. You have to have somebody that has the knowledge, has the stats, that can look at it and tell you where you should be writing a price. And it's not a guess. It's not a guess. I'm going to hate to say it against my own industry, but sometimes there are realtors out there that just guess. They don't look at what's going on. And fortunately,
Guess at a list price?
What? No, they're
Guess at
guessing
what?
at a sale price. They're just guessing 10,000, 20,000 over.
Oh, like how high you have
Right,
to,
right.
yeah. Well, I mean, do you typically say, come in at your highest and best?
Well, that's what.
Or if you have a buyer agency, do you say, no, I really think you need to come in 20,000 over asking price?
Yes. I mean, you have to advise, but it's still the choice of the buyer. It's
Yeah.
what they're going to want to do on
Mhm.
this. And we talked about a listing last week, and we'll catch you up in a minute.
Yeah.
Is that the sale that we just had in Lake Mills? We wrote a full price offer, cash deal. Price was $425, cash deal, closed in 7 days, post occupancy for the sellers up till August 28th. Beautiful deal. I called the realtor. I know a lot of realtors don't call people anymore.
Yeah, just text or email, right?
Yeah.
If you're lucky to tell you you've got an offer coming in.
Yeah.
And I talked to her and I said, well, do you have other offers?
Yeah.
And we're all instructed. We have to tell you, do we have an offer in hand? Yes. She said, no, I don't have any offers. I said, okay, we're coming in full list, 7 days, close on August 28th. And she goes, well, would your buyer be open to a counteroffer? And I'm like, well, wait a minute, you don't have any other offers. I know, but we're hoping for like $450 for this house. And I said, why didn't you price it at $450? And she's like,
What was the list price?
$425.
Yeah, why didn't they price it at $450?
Because
That's a
she
great
wanted
question.
Drive up.
She goes,
Right.
Oh,
well,
she thought it was underpriced and therefore it'd get a bidding war and
Yeah.
bid it up to $450.
That's exactly what she said to me.
Yeah.
Even though that didn't happen.
Right.
It didn't happen.
Got it.
No.
So I'm
Not a good
experiencing the
script.
opposite right now. I've got a property that I have a buyer interested in. We wrote an offer, but it's a little overpriced.
Okay.
And so we came in at what we thought was a fair price based on recent sales. Sent those justification over to them, but the seller of that property still thinks it's worth
They're holding out.
way
Isn't that
much
killer?
more. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
The days of 15% appreciation, you remember that in the last
Yeah.
couple of years? Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think they're tacking that on still, even though
Right.
we're seeing the market normalize.
Sure.
And so that unfortunately, I don't think that deal is going to come together just because the seller has this idea that the house is still worth way more than kind of what the market will bear. And
How long has it been on the market?
Oh, it's been about a month or month and a half, 2 months almost.
How long are they going to wait until buyers are like, uh-oh, what's wrong?
I don't know. They've already moved out. That's a good question.
Is this your listing?
This is my buyer, not
Okay,
my
your buyer.
listing.
Okay,
Yep.
good. Yeah, I know you too well. You'd be all over that, man.
Yeah.
And let me tell everybody who you are because
Yeah.
Oh,
you've been
yeah.
coming in and out.
Sorry, I
That's
came in
okay.
a little bit late. I had a phone call I was expecting. Had to take that. So
No
sorry
worries.
about that.
We knew about that coming
Yeah.
in. Josh Lavik has joined us. Josh is the superstar and host of Wisconsin Homes.
Yeah.
He is a buddy of ours and somebody that I've known for quite a while. I can't tell you how many years.
Many years. Gosh, probably at least 10 years, maybe.
No more than that.
Yeah.
I'll bet.
I mean,
Back in Keller days.
we were there. I joined that company in 2010.
Yeah.
So
Look at that.
Oh.
there you
13
go.
years.
And you were already there?
Yeah, I was there.
So yeah,
Yeah.
long time.
And so we're now part of the EXP family.
Yes, we are.
Which is a brokerage, an international brokerage that we hang our license under.
That's true.
It's like an umbrella, and it's just been a lot of fun. He and I have known, like I said, we've known each other for a long time. We share a lot of information. We bounce stuff off of each other, and I got to be on his show last week, which blew me away.
And now I get to be on your show.
I know. Well,
Hey, here we go. That's one of the things I love actually about the company we're with now is, it really fosters an environment of collaboration and working together.
Sure.
More so than I've experienced at other places. So.
I know some of these places are just cutthroat. I mean,
Yeah.
they don't want to talk to you, and it's a shame. I mean, we're like attorneys,
Mhm.
We'll fight in the courtroom, but then we're gonna have a beer later.
Yeah.
And we have some pretty good rules that we have to follow when we're competing against each other or battling against each other.
Sure.
But he's located over in Monona. His office is in Monona.
Yep.
He has a team. Has had a team for quite a while.
Mhm.
And are you still icon status?
I actually just got my email notification that I've just achieved icon status once again.
Which
so.
makes him a muckety muck.
Muckety muck. Apparently, I sell
Well,
a
yeah,
lot
like
of homes.
what does this mean for the average person?
He sells a lot of homes.
Yeah, I
There's a
mean,
status level.
I think it's somewhere in the neighborhood of 25 to 30 homes a year or more. So it's based on kind of volume and sales, but yeah, I mean, it's definitely, I don't know, I think the top 5% in our company or so.
Something big.
Yeah.
Something big.
Yeah.
That means he also gets all of his fees back.
I get that's
Ooh,
that's the
that's
big part.
big, huh? Yeah.
Yeah, that means I get reimbursed in the form of stock at our company.
Right.
So
Mucho dinero.
I mean,
And the stock is up, by the way. Again.
Again.
I like it a lot. But so what I'm trying to lay out here is that we know this guy, and we have a lot of respect for him, the utmost respect. Appreciate what he does.
Bill, you're too kind.
Well, I am, but someone I gotta lie to the people on the air. Nobody's listening anyway. So what are you seeing out there? I mean, you like me. I mean, you're covering a large area also.
Yeah.
And yesterday we got to meet with some fellow EX peers.
Yeah.
And chat a little bit.
Mhm.
What are you seeing out there?
Yeah, so I mean, I'm seeing, buyers, it's still pretty tough actually, just with the limited inventory. So I'm finding, especially in the lower price ranges, I mean, our median price is like $385 now. So if you're under even 300, it's still pretty tight and competitive. And even I have some, but it's not impossible. I mean, I have a first-time buyer. He just got a recently accepted offer under $250, and
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, I mean, he missed out on a couple other opportunities because of competing offers, but we got one to stick, and so he's super excited. So it is still possible. But then I'm also seeing even at the higher price ranges. I mean, I'm seeing there's a lake home in Monona for 1.5.
Sitting there.
No, sold first
did
week.
sell?
Sold
Really?
first week.
Oh, no.
Really? Wow.
On Winnequa, it's sitting here 1.5. It was
Yeah.
as of this morning anyway. There's not an accepted offer.
Is it another one?
There's two on
There was
Winnequa.
two.
Oh, okay.
No, they're both under contract. I
And then
believe.
Bernhard or whatever's got one of them, and another EXP guy, and
Well, Paul, I know over at Stark, I think he had the one I'm thinking of. I went through it.
and Chaz.
Yeah.
Chaz Martin's got
Oh,
one.
she just listed one. Yeah, 1.1.
Yeah.
Yep. So yeah, I mean, I think even all different price ranges you're seeing stuff. I saw there was one on Winona Way, which is right near our office.
Right.
1.2 million. It sold for I don't know, 6 months ago, 12 months ago, something like that. They just tore it down. So if you want to build a brand new lake home on Winona Way,
Sure.
that's the going price for
Wow.
a vacant lot is 1.2.
Well, the beauty of it is that they can set up that because they have their foundation and all that.
Yeah.
The setbacks don't change. They can follow the historical setback.
They could. I think they're going to set it back anyway because the
Okay.
house. Yeah, the house was like pretty close to the water.
Yeah.
And so I think they're gonna. I mean, it was almost way too close. I think.
Way
but-
too close.
Yeah.
The fish are just jumping in the window.
Well, I mean, it'd be nice to have a little bit of yard outside the patio, and then the lake anyway. So.
Lake homes are interesting because realtors that aren't experienced with it, they think that the the house you see from the road is the front.
Yeah.
And on a lake home, it's reversed.
Ah.
The front of the house is by the lake.
Yeah.
Facing the lake.
We got an interesting one coming up near the lake, over by
Okay.
Lake Wabisa, over on Tower Road. I don't know if you're familiar with those houses, but they have, there's a bunch of them and that have kind of deeded lake access.
Sure.
So you get, you access to, you can keep your boat out on the pier, but your house may not be on the lake. So it's a way to kind of get on the water without paying the 1.5 million or so.
I don't mind paying the
Or so.
1.5.
Yeah.
As long as I get maybe a 10% return every year.
Yeah.
That would be kind of cool.
Yeah.
Hey, I was looking at Monona, some stats on here, doing some comparison, and I was looking at Monona year to date compared to last year,
Okay.
and pricing is up 14% in Monona. And I picked Monona. It's not on your sheet, by the
Not
way.
on my sheet. Okay.
No, I my little cheat sheet over here.
Got it. Okay.
But 14%, it just shows you in Monona
Yeah.
where the average price is $448 right now, $448,000. It's had a huge increase in price, and
Yeah.
you should just go out and buy a house
Yeah.
because it's going to continue to rise. This is a 6-month average too, so that's not bad at all.
Yeah, I mean, I often tell people that real estate it's really all about trade-offs and what's most important to you. I mean, so 445 or whatever versus what can you get in Sun Prairie or
Right.
Marshall or
Right.
something like that. I mean, it's all
Sure.
about kind of the trade-offs you're willing to make in terms of location or proximity or condition, age of home. I mean, there's a lot of homes in Monona that are real tiny 2 or 3 bedroom ranch homes, and they're probably under that price, but you'd be amazed with the people pay even for those.
And
Oh,
they
I
don't
know.
last long.
Yeah.
Nope.
They don't last.
Yeah.
Those houses in Monona where they pop up,
Yeah.
boom. I fought on a few of those.
Yeah.
And I do like to say I fought on it. I put my armor on, had a shield out, and put an offering.
Well, you're a fighter.
Oh my. It's kind of always been like that with Monona, hasn't it? Just because of the location and.
Yeah, kind of. I think part of it's it feels like it's intensified a little bit more. I don't know. It's just it's kind of it's such an interesting community in terms of, and I'm actually seeing a lot of new construction there. I saw a lot of the sheet you showed me here, new construction wise. I think you were showing me some of the stats just in Sun Prairie, but I'm seeing some houses like they're buying them and tearing them down and building new.
Yeah.
So you're seeing just a lot of infill redevelopment there, which is kind of interesting.
Mm-hmm.
The Monona area, I saw only one stat for one new construction.
Yeah.
I mean, but where are they going to build it? I mean,
Right.
They'll have to tear it down.
That's
to
just
put
it,
it back
yeah,
up.
they're tearing it down. I
Right.
mean, yeah, I know, actually, there's one right now that's going up. Actually, I think they bought it. It was one of the larger lots. There's a few houses that are on like 3/4 of an acre,
Ooh.
and which is huge, right, in the city. And
It is.
And I think, yeah, they paid close to $500,000 for it, and tore it down.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
Is it on water?
Not on the water.
This,
Whoa,
This
okay.
happens more often than we realize.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember a friend of ours tore down a $2 million house out in Boulder, Colorado,
What?
but he put up a $5 million house.
Well, I guess you'll have that.
And
Yeah.
and I didn't want to argue with him because I just wanted to be able to stay at his condo at Vail so I could go skiing.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, of course, it's all about you.
Well, yeah, well, sometimes it is.
I probably
Okay.
saw it one time. I actually climbed the Flatiron in Boulder one time.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Wow.
1,000 feet up, so
Oh my
did some
God.
rock
That's
climbing
cool.
out there. That was fun.
Awesome.
So I'm in Vail. I'm on the back side.
Yeah, back bowls.
All right, I'm going to do the bowls.
Yeah.
And I've never done that before.
Oh, they're
so it was
awesome.
more like, face for, I could not get it. I just could not get it.
That's what I'd be doing, just on a regular one.
East Coast skier, we're used to ice and that, not powder, and I
Yeah.
had no idea. I'd never skied in snow that deep before, and it was fun, but it took me quite a while. But I'm just covered
Fun
in
and
snow.
frustrating.
You're quite the skier, though. You're water skiing too.
Oh yeah, we get out there. We were out, took the kids out for spring break. We went up to Colorado this
Oh,
past winter.
awesome.
So
Cool.
yeah, we get up to Cascade quite a bit. So
Cool.
got actually the oldest son. He's on the ski team up there. So
Oh, look at
get out
that.
twice a week during the winters. So
It's in the genes, huh?
something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, but let's take a moment to talk about the real superstar in your house and
Oh.
what she accomplished.
Oh yeah, I have a major you're a rock climber who
Yes, you do.
just climbed the Mount Kilimanjaro. So,
What? Really?
Yeah, Jenna, my wife, she's a rock star, superstar, that's for sure.
That's
She just,
awesome.
she did it as a kind of a mission trip opportunity, and we had been supporting a kid over in Africa, and so it was a climb as a way to kind of raise funds and awareness for Africa New Life Ministry, and
wow.
so yeah, she just kind of felt compelled to do it. And yeah, it was.
She did it.
Yeah,
I love
totally.
it.
Actually, she just got a little tattoo thing on her arm about shows the route she did. So
Oh, that's cool.
yeah, it's pretty neat. So yeah.
Oh man! So right before
Amazing.
COVID,
Mm-hmm.
Scott Homerson and I were scheduled to do Everest.
Yeah.
right.
And it was with a faith-based group.
Yeah.
And it was all about girls that are being kidnapped and all that. What's it called?
Trafficked?
Trafficking. Human trafficking.
Oh wow.
And we were actually going to be in Kathmandu to actually minister and try to do what we could in the red light district
Oh wow.
in the trip, but we got canceled because of COVID.
Yeah.
And man, I trained.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, all the walking and all that, and,
Oh, yeah.
and putting on the weights and all that to carry while I could walk and train. Scott, he didn't do a damn thing.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Jenna was training like crazy, all kinds of stuff.
You got to train.
You have to.
You
yeah.
have to.
Oh yeah.
It will kill you. I mean, literally, your feet, your legs, and all
Yeah.
that. And part of that's where I started working out because I wanted to get my legs in shape and doing the squats and putting, things like that.
Yeah.
Today, it's just now a normal thing.
Well, you just got to get a new home gym, right? In your new house here or something.
No, I have Pack
He has
24.
one close by.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
2 blocks away.
Oh,
Right
okay.
next to
With a
Milk and
tr- it
Honey
comes
is
with a
his
trainer.
second home.
Okay.
It comes with a trainer.
What is it? Pack?
It's
Prairie Athletic Club.
Oh.
But it's
Yeah.
called Pack 24.
Got it.
And so we have a group of guys. Well, we've now been invaded by 2 ladies, but that's okay. Whatever.
Keep you on
Kim
your
Elton will be
toes.
on the show next week from
Ah.
Realty Executives.
Okay.
She's going to come in and talk about new home construction.
Mhm.
And then Jennifer Lee, who owns Faded Roots, so she's joining
Oh,
us.
yeah.
Both of those ladies don't take any crap from any of us guys.
Good for them.
Yeah, I'm the
Yeah.
oldest, but I'm not the biggest.
Hmm.
I've got 2 guys that played football in college. 6'4",
Mhm.
one of them 6'4", one 6'5". They're both about 3 something,
Wow.
and they're just throwing weights around. But I love to grab their weights and just say, yeah, whatever. Put some more weight on there.
Yeah.
Sounds like dude stuff.
It is dude stuff.
Yeah.
We scratch and spit. It's true.
Yeah.
That's too much information. Thank
So
you.
how did you get started in real estate?
Real estate.
And how long ago?
Yeah.
Was it your mom?
Yeah, it was my mom. You know this
That's
story,
right.
Bill.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ruth Wangren.
Yes.
So she influenced my decision making in my young 20s, wondering what might I want to be when I grow up. And so 2005, which was hard to believe that long ago, but yeah, got started with working with her over on a condo project on the west side of Madison, and yeah, just started helping with open houses and doing whatever and selling condos on the west side, and then just kind of kept going. 1 year led to another, and actually, yeah, it was probably actually about my 1.5 2 years in when I was like, okay, well, if I'm gonna do this real estate thing, maybe let's really go for it and do it. And so I just, at that point, I think I just got a little more serious about my business and a little more committed and intentional, which is certainly what it's going to take for agents to make it through our current market shift.
Oh,
I mean, it's kind of tough out there as an agent. So, but I think,
it's just tough.
yeah. Well, I mean, tough as a mortgage lender even. I
It
mean,
is.
for the tough
Yeah.
mortgage lenders, you got to be committed and go all in. And that's kind of what I did when I first started. And the minute I did that, my business took off immediately. So.
Is that when you switched over to Keller Williams?
No, it was
Or was it
about
before
5
that?
years later. So,
Okay.
so I remember reading a little bit about the Red Book.
Yeah.
So, learning.
It's a great book.
Great book, yep, Millionaire Real Estate Agent, written by Gary Keller. It is a great
Old?
book.
Did
It's
you
an
do
older
old?
book, yeah. I mean, I think it was written, gosh,
Oh
what
my
year was
gosh.
it? 2003 or something?
No, yeah, a little bit for. And actually, Chris Hake is in the book.
Oh yeah, he's local
Oh,
guy.
that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, a great book, just put together a bunch of ideas of other top agents of what they do to build their business. So I tried to follow that for many years and made the shift over to EXP after, trying to shift a couple other things. So.
The
sure.
shift.
Yeah.
Love
Well,
it. Yeah.
not only a family guy, 2 boys, right?
Three.
Three
Yep.
boys. I'm
Yep.
sorry.
That's all right.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to slight one.
That's all right. Well, two of them are twins, so
Right.
they kind of blend together. sometimes.
Yeah. 2 in 1,
Yeah.
really.
Yeah, but during this whole process and everything that you're doing and the children and everything, you decided to go and grab an MBA.
Yeah, well.
I remember that.
Yeah.
I don't
I'm
know
just
how
gonna
you did
go
that,
grab
my
one
friend.
of those. Yeah.
And while
why
he's
not?
producing at a high level. I mean, the guy didn't. I don't think you slept.
Yeah, it was a challenging time for sure. I mean, just one foot in front of the other is what it was, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was something I just always thought I wanted to do, was kind of get my MBA, and you know, obviously you don't need an MBA to sell real estate, right? But I knew that I was committed and serious about this business, and I wanted to try to do it at the highest level possible, and I just thought that was a good way to do it. My undergrad was in biology, so I have more
Wow.
you know, science-based focus, ecology, environmental science, and that kind of thing. So,
Interesting.
you know, I wanted to shift into more business mode, so I thought an MBA might be a good way to do that.
Pretty big notch in your tool belt.
Yeah.
I mean,
At the same time, running a business,
Mm-hmm.
got a young family.
Oh yeah.
Oh my
Yeah, our
gosh.
oldest son was just born when I was
Yeah.
in school.
goodness.
Yeah, my third year for sure was definitely challenging, especially on my wife. I mean, we had lots of challenges,
But you're getting through it.
we're getting through it.
Is
Now
your
we're
mom
we're
still
having a lot of
selling?
fun. She is, yeah.
Is she with,
Yep.
who's she with?
Stark.
Yep.
Is she?
is there.
Okay.
Mhm.
Have you guys ever come up against each other?
No, we've always been collaborative and worked together.
Okay, that's a good answer. It's a diplomatic
Whatever
answer. I
mama
like
wants.
that. Sorry, buyer. I'm up against my mom. I can't do that. We're moving on.
You know, people think that this real estate market is all about putting a sign in the yard, throwing an ad in the paper or on the internet, and then just standing back and waiting for it to sell.
Hmm.
Which, folks, by the way, is a script
Mm.
Yeah, it
that
is.
Josh and I have been taught
Mm.
for years and years ago. But it's changed. I mean,
Mm.
it's not what you think, and I don't think people actually understand the concepts of what's expected
Mm-hmm.
from people that are realtors. I mean, is it easy to get your license? Yes.
Mhm.
I think it's too easy, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I'd like to see the standards tightened even more, and even more continuing education.
Well, I think that yeah, you know, getting licensed is not the hardest part about selling real estate.
No.
Getting competent about what you're actually doing, so that you can advise people, so that you can interpret data, so that you
Right.
can give good advice. That's the hard part about real estate, and getting clients that you know are willing and able to listen to you. And you need to study the market. You need to be a student of the market. You need to be a student of your craft, and you know, if you're willing to do that, then you can absolutely be successful in this industry.
What did you think about when all of a sudden it became buyer focused? I mean, we've always been taught that it's more of a listing business. The phrase is listings are king.
Mm.
If you have the listing, you have everything. And then there are buyer agents that come in. But what happened was this thing called leads and the internet. And all these leads just started pouring in. Oh, no. If you paid for them, they started pouring in.
Mm.
What did you think of that transition in the very beginning?
You know, I guess, I don't know, I may have a slightly different take on that, in the
Okay.
sense that, you know, I think leads are everywhere. I mean, people you might meet down at the local restaurant or bar, people in your community, people wherever, and or they might be from a website, right? From somewhere in the portal, and maybe you pay for them. But maybe, you know, staying in touch with those people and doing some type of marketing to give yourself credibility is I mean, a cost of doing business. That's a lead, right?
Sure.
So I just always thought about, you know, if I'm going to invest a certain amount of dollars in trying to grow my business, I should try to do that.
Sure.
And if I'm going to be an agent at the highest level possible, I should invest in my business and I should market it.
Right.
You know, or I maybe don't expect as much.
I think the area that's overlooked by the largest percentage of realtors is their existing client base.
Mm-hmm.
That they take it for granted.
Yeah.
And I don't know about you, but it kills me every time I see a previous client use another realtor. And I go, what did I do? You
Yeah.
know, I like to self
Yeah.
examine, I guess. But because your database is the most valuable tool. And folks, that's why we keep contacting you all the time.
Well, even so, I was listening to a realtor talk about being disappointed because it was a past client and somebody that she had kept in touch with and then ended up listing with some other agent. And she's like, why, how? But, I mean, you never know what connections other people have. I think it had something to do with a son whose friend was a real estate, mom was a real estate agent.
Yeah.
I'd feel bad, I guess, like if they knew we were selling and I didn't go with them kind of thing.
Yeah, I get that.
You never know. I mean, but you do have to be in front of people because they do forget and they go with who's in front of them at the moment.
Well, I think that's certainly a big part of it. You want to be in front of them, but also I think showing your credibility, right? I mean, are you just calling to ask for business and say hey, or are you offering them something of
Offer value,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Right.
Yeah, that's what you got to do.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah.
That whole time frame of I remember when Boomtown was it first came in.
Oh yeah.
And
Bill was big in Boomtown, huh?
That's right.
Not
You
initially.
signed up. That's right. I remember you had a ton of internet leads from that, right?
yeah, that's the curse.
What? Oh,
That's the curse of internet leads.
what? Because you had too many leads and you couldn't follow up with them all, is what I
We
understand.
didn't follow up with them, and we didn't follow up with them correctly, or we would have had even more sales.
Quick enough.
Right, and
You
so
gotta
it
be
was
on
like
those.
turning on a fire hose.
You better get off the air and make those calls.
Right, exactly.
When I first started, my whole thing was not to work with buyers.
Yeah.
And so if I had a buyer that hit on one of my signs or something like that, yes, I would work
Yeah, but
with
a
them.
third of those buyers are probably sellers too.
Oh, absolutely.
Do you remember what you said about buyers?
Buyers are liars.
Oh.
When he said that, I'm like,
Why?
what?
People just change their mind. They don't know what they want.
I know. But that was my thing back then.
He's
Yeah.
pulling that back now,
Ah,
right?
okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Mhm.
But my first year, 52 houses, and it was like 60% were listings.
Mm.
And it was like 58 point something. But because I didn't want to work with buyers, I was taught by our buddy Darren
Oh, yeah.
Kittleson
Oh, yeah.
and all the gurus that
Yeah.
this is what you did. And then Boomtown happened, and I watched our friend Nicole Charles take on
Yeah,
Boomtown,
I heard
and
about her.
she went off the chart with
Mhm.
her sales. And so what happens is the shiny thing happens.
Oh.
It's in the room. And being an ADD guy, I wanted to follow that. And it's very costly. It was a very costly
Yeah.
thing to do.
You didn't quite get the ROI that you had expected?
Well, you're supposed to get like your return on your leads.
Mhm.
Your response on your leads is about 7%.
Mm.
And I kept looking at this from a financial thing, going, man, this can't work. It just can't work.
Mm.
But I did it anyway,
Mhm.
and we kept pumping money in.
Mm.
And thank goodness we had the support of a lender at the time, and title, and other people
Yeah.
that we leveraged that were helping to pay for all that stuff. But it wasn't what I expected when I first joined in real estate.
Okay.
And I came into real estate screaming and yelling. I didn't really want to do it,
But you stayed.
but I stayed.
Because you like it,
Because
obviously.
I
And you're
hate
good
real
at
estate
it.
agents.
No.
Oh, come on. The things that come out of your mouth sometimes, I'm like, what are you doing?
Way to call him out. Thank you.
What the heck?
No,
Dude.
I always saw real estate agents as tour guides.
Yeah.
And my wife
Wow.
at the time,
Okay.
she was one. And she convinced me
Not
to
a
go get
tour
my
guide.
license.
She
Huh?
was a real estate agent.
She was a real
and a
estate
good
agent.
one.
And a really good one.
Okay,
Just
let's
a little-
clarify.
But I'm like, I gotta go show houses and all that. And so
I get to go show houses,
yes, I know.
right?
Yeah, okay. But the point that I'm trying to make is I wasn't buying in the beginning. I went in to
Mhm.
take the class
Yeah.
and to see what it was all about, and we'd use it to buy more properties and all that, and it'd be fine. Because I used to get upset when we'd buy something and we couldn't do something because she was a real estate agent.
Oh.
And so anyway, I got my license, and I thought, oh, this might be like shooting fish in a barrel, you know. I'm sitting in a room with 72 other people. Corey Lamont's teaching the class.
Oh,
and I'm looking,
fun.
Oh,
I'm looking
Corey.
around the room going,
She's great.
She's awesome. I
Jesus.
love her.
Oh,
Yeah.
the best.
So smart and
Yeah.
so funny. Yeah.
But that's how I came kicking and dragging into real
But
estate.
you're still here,
I loved every minute of it.
Yeah.
even with buyers?
Yes, I do.
Oh, look at how things change. Look
I
at
know.
that.
I know.
Hmm.
But I'm not gonna buy all those leads again. I mean, we know of a company in town that has spent over $1 million in a year on leads.
Oh, I bet I know them.
You do. You do. And there's others
Yeah.
that are spending even half
Yeah.
of that. And it's just crazy
Yeah.
to get the business.
Well,
And I
those
don't
are
think the
agents
returns
with
there.
Yeah.
teams, right? And
Well,
you
maybe.
coach your teams to like be on your leads within 30 seconds on your leads, right? Or otherwise you lose them. It's
30
a waste
seconds?
of money.
What'd you say?
I don't know if it's 30 seconds, but you got to be on
5
it like
minutes.
right away. 5 minutes?
Man, my team,
Okay,
the
30
focus
seconds
was
is
5.
saturation.
What's your team look like these days?
I don't have one.
Oh, it's you. It's the Baker Realty
It's
Group. There you
him,
are.
I got a
him,
what?
himself, and him, me,
Yeah.
myself, and I. Yeah.
Man, I threw a fit one day and just said, I'm done with this.
Done.
Yeah. I
Done.
I
have
like
a
that
team
you
of
said you
experts
threw
around
a
me, but not
fit.
the
Hey,
realtors.
you know what? That's what counts. As long as you
Yeah.
got a good team right here. Laura's
In
rocking.
your head.
Yeah.
My ROI's high
Oh, okay.
because I don't have all that overhead. All that
Ah.
expense.
Well, there's that. Yeah.
Dropped the boomtown, huh?
Oh, a long time ago.
Yeah.
Probably 5, 6 years ago.
Yeah.
5 years ago.
Okay.
A long
Something
time
like
ago.
Yeah, I never forget the conversation.
Yeah.
Why are you ending our relationship? I don't like you. I said, I don't like this whole process.
Ouch.
Well, you get
Yeah.
you get somebody, you
Yeah.
hire, you
Uh-huh.
train them,
Yeah.
you get them up and going, and then all of
Yeah.
a sudden they think they can do it themselves, and they try to go and do
Oh.
it themselves. Now you got to train somebody else,
Yeah.
and it's that turnover
Yeah.
that drove me crazy. So,
A team isn't a thing for everybody.
No.
It really,
Yeah.
That's
depends
right.
on who's on your team
Mm-hmm.
and what's the maintenance level there. Are they loyal? Do they do, do they follow your processes?
Sure.
Sometimes you just don't want it though. You just
No.
kind of want to do your own thing, and it's okay.
Right.
Whatever your thing is.
So switch gears a little bit. Let's talk about you on TV. How'd that happen? You do a nice job.
Oh, well, thank you. Yeah, I just, I've been with TVW for a long time. So, just been, something, along with what I'd been talking about earlier, right? Wanting to just establish my own credibility and share that with the world. And I just thought that going on their show about once a month or so would be a good way to do that. And then lately I've been doing our Community Spotlight series and just highlighting different areas around the Madison area and interviewing different people like yourself and other, the mayors and other people in the
Cool.
chamber and the
Yeah.
schools. And
Oh,
I
that's
just thought,
cool.
I just
Yeah.
thought it was a good way to kind of, enhance, insight and knowledge and also our potential clients if, they're moving here and trying to get a sense for the area, what's it like and what's it like to live there.
Sure.
That was my main plan and main goal.
Mm-hmm.
I have people that ask or make comments to me all the time. They'll say, "Well, why do you have other realtors on your show?" And I'm like, "Why wouldn't I have other realtors on your show? This is a show about real estate. Is it about me?
Mhm.
Well, a little bit.
Yeah.
They at least know the source
Sure.
that they can go to, Laura and I, and but it's just good. I mean, I like the way you handle the clients that you interview,
Mhm.
and I like the subjects.
Yeah.
It's nice enough. It's giving back to the community.
Yeah. Thank you.
With an
Offering
investment.
value,
Yeah.
like we talked about.
What's that?
Offering value
Yeah.
to the community, like
Yeah,
we talked
totally.
about. For people new to the
Yep.
community is huge.
Yeah, or new to it, or maybe even if you're local, but maybe instead of being in Sun Prairie, you want to move to Middleton or Verona or one of the other areas
Sure.
in Madison, right?
Mhm.
Maybe it's a way to get to know those areas a little bit without having to make the call. Bill, come sell my house today.
Sure.
Let me think about it first,
Yeah.
and then when I'm ready, then I will call you.
Right. I hate those calls.
Well,
Yeah.
these days I think buyers in particular, are exploring other areas that they might not have considered before, just
Sure.
because
Yep.
the lack of listings. They might want to live in Sun Prairie. Well, I can't find anything.
Oh,
so
absolutely.
they're looking all around.
Yeah.
Yeah, why not? Learn a little bit more. Open your mind.
Yeah. That's right.
When we started doing this show, I mean,
Mhm.
it was.
How long have you been doing this now?
It was starting our 8th year.
8th year. Wow. Good for you.
June was our first, was it? Something like that.
I do not remember.
I know the amount.
No
So we
clue.
do a show every week. So we do about 50 shows a year. So that's a lot of shows. We go through and we pick different subjects and all that.
Yeah.
Just like we're talking to you today. People, they like that little mix up a little bit. Mary Lawstead was on the show. She got a sale from it.
Oh, cool.
Who else was on here that did that? I can't.
I don't remember anybody else, just Mary. Josh is next. He'll get one today.
You got a listing out there that you want to sell.
Yeah. Well, I got that one on Tower Road coming up. Oh, I got one on the west side of Madison
You
over
do?
on Interlake and Pass.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice one, big 4-bedroom.
Yep.
Yeah, beautiful
Price?
spot out
Why
there.
isn't that sold?
550, and I think we started a little bit too high.
Did ya?
We started off at 570, so we did just do a recent price drop to the 550, but it's a nice home, nice area, so yeah,
Sure.
it's still available there for anybody that's interested, absolutely.
There you go.
Listing presentations. Have you felt a change about the listing listing presentation, folks, is when we're coming out talking to you about how we're going to sell your house.
Yeah,
And for me, it's changed. I know.
really?
Well, I get a lot of armchair realtors.
Oh, what, just...
We're looking at, I got one right now that
Yeah.
talking to me about listing, and she's saying, well, I was told it's worth about $900,000.
Okay.
I said, well, do you have the name of that person? And she says, well, yes. I said, well, good, because we're going to go sell it to that person for $900,000. And she goes, well, why don't I just go do that? I said, okay, go ahead and do that. I said, he's not paying $900,000 for your house. It's worth about $550.
Oh, wow.
What? Who told her 900? A realtor?
Exactly.
Okay.
Making calls, man.
What? I mean, why would you be that far off?
No, just trying to buy the listing.
Ah.
Well, the conversation is
on.
hard right now because what I mean by hard is that the challenge is it seems like we're being measured by the number of offers you get
Yeah.
instead of getting the right one.
Yeah, well, I think part of it's timing, right? I mean, sure, I could sell that house for $900,000. How patient are you?
How many years do you have to
There
wait?
you go.
Yeah.
Is he good or what?
Right. Wow, that's pretty far off. That's double. Come on.
If you can hang on for a couple of years, I think we can get that solved.
You can hang on for 10 years, perhaps.
I won't talk about that. But it's a house.
The other one I get is the opposite end, right? You get the one that we don't want to underprice it and give it away.
Sure.
Right?
Mhm.
But then sometimes you see, okay, you could underprice it, you actually get more because you get the bidding war and the auction effect happens. So
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
kind of finding that sweet spot though. You don't need 15 offers. Actually, I came across that recently. There was a property that they had 15 offers. Well, yeah, it was way underpriced.
Yeah.
Way underpriced.
Right.
It's like, obviously, they're going to get 15 offers, so.
It doesn't always work though. And then how do you go back to your seller, I guess, if you say, you know what, let's start 25 low. Because I know we're going to end up 25 over what the actual is, and then you don't, and they're disappointed. I don't know how you present that.
Well, I mean, I think that's where a good realtor is going to do their homework, and I tend to try to find that sweet spot of what we think is a reasonable price.
Price it at
not,
value.
Yeah, not too high, not too low,
Yeah.
and if you do price it reasonable, it's going to sell, and it's going to
Right.
sell in a reasonable amount of time. So.
My thing is that using the example of the home in Lake Mills, they wanted $450 for it. They lost the $450.
Mm-hmm.
We paid $440 for it.
Mm-hmm.
If they had listed it at $450, they
Mhm.
might have gotten $460.
Mm.
And I think sometimes we leave money on the table when we use a lower price to run up that auction kind of technique on it. I think there could still be, because of
If it's too low, right? There's a perception that it's what's wrong with this house.
right. That's
Yeah.
part of it, sure. But the other side of it is that there's this feeding frenzy of we're going to be multiple offers, we're going to have to put in all this,
Yeah.
we're going to have to be over.
Mhm.
So right now you could go up higher and get higher
Mhm.
because of that preconceived notion.
Mm.
So if they went in at 450, they
Mhm.
probably could have gotten 460, 470.
Mm.
I mean, comps on a cash buyer, you can tell them, and I'm like, if you want the house,
Mm-hmm.
here's what I see, but this is what you're going to need to do to get the house.
Mm-hmm.
It's I don't know how to describe that.
Mm-hmm.
It's a feeding frenzy.
Yeah, it certainly can be. A cash buyer is an interesting scenario. I had one recently where actually my client was a cash buyer, and they ended up beating out other offers that were actually at a higher price,
Right.
contingent on financing. So
Mhm.
if you are able to make a cash offer, that certainly puts you at a distinct advantage, for sure.
Oh, sure. We had this same buyer. We had a situation where she found a house. She liked the house. We're going to write on the house.
Mm-hmm.
So I go back. I'm sitting at my computer. I'm drafting this thing, And I kept looking at the numbers and kept looking at the numbers, and I finally had to call her and said, I don't feel comfortable with this number. I honestly talked myself out of a sale, I guess. It's still on the market, but she said to me, I appreciate you doing that because I didn't feel comfortable with the number. And so it worked out really well. But man, it's the cash buyer. I love cash buyers, but
sometimes things got a way of working
That doesn't
out,
help
right?
people in my world. No, come on.
No,
Yeah, they
I
need
get
it.
it.
They
I
need to
get
get
it.
their financing. Well, just because people can pay cash doesn't mean they will, right?
True. I mean, some people do come in and say cash, and then
Right.
they end up getting a loan.
Absolutely,
So
right?
happens a lot.
Yep.
well, you know, we talked about for last month. You were on your call. We talked about the sales in that $200,000 price range in Sun Prairie. So last month there was one cash deal, one conventional, and one FHA. The FHA is the one that surprises me because it sold at $36,000 over asking. And that fear on that FHA of not appraising is something else.
Oh, it's real.
It is real. It is real.
Really? I mean, I haven't seen that happening.
No?
No.
It's just a
the
fear.
Fear's there.
Yeah,
Fear.
fear's there.
Right.
It's the perception that it could happen.
Right.
Fear of the
Yeah.
unknown.
Right. And that's what
Which-
you have in front of you. That's
Oh yeah. Well, that reminds me of the other big fear that I think is interesting that many agents historically in the last 2 to 3 years won't do. Right?
What's that?
It's called a counter offer.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
I have to blow the dust off of those.
I know, right?
That's funny. Mhm.
I mean, it is an option and it is a possibility. You could even do a multiple counter offer and counter more than one buyer at the same time. That's a possibility.
With different offers.
Different offers, different terms.
Right.
But the fear, which is what I was alluding to, right, is that you're going to lose the buyer.
Right.
And I just don't think that happens.
No.
No way.
No. I agree with you 100%.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Yeah, you're gonna blow off the dust off the counter offers. Oh my God! And supposedly, no, actually, the rules are if you're receiving a multiple counter offer,
Yeah.
there are multiple counters,
Yeah.
multiple buyers. You can't do it just with one buyer. You can't use
No.
that.
Yep.
But we know that it happens, unfortunately, and I think it just happened to me recently.
Really?
Yes, and I'm
Can
waiting.
you prove
to,
it?
I'm waiting to see if I had competing offers on the MLS. See what happens. They could be lying about that too, but
Huh.
we'll see.
Hmm.
Look at Laura. Look at me.
I'm just being quiet for once.
Yeah, that's okay. What's your biggest challenge right now as a real estate agent? Besides inventory.
Biggest
Getting
challenge.
listings.
Well, I mean,
Besides inventory.
yeah, actually, another big challenge that I'm having. I mean, I do have a team, but I think another challenge I'm having actually is trying to grow our team. I'm certainly looking for, other like-minded individuals that are, driven to succeed and also very servant-oriented and want to help people. So. But I think it's trying to find the right people that are interested in that and open to it. I mean, so that's a challenge I'm having right now.
How many are on your team right now?
We've got about a half a dozen or so.
Okay.
A couple on more of the administrative side, and then a couple other agents as well. So
Mhm.
Nice.
yeah.
How big do you want to be? Do you have a number?
Well, I was hoping to get to. I could see us being somewhere between 8 and 12 team
Okay.
members.
Cool.
And I just feel like you get a little more synergy then, and you get a little bit more, ability to kind of leverage one another's strengths and take time off without feeling stressed
True.
out a
Yeah.
little bit more. I'm not sure I see it being huge, right? Like 20 or 30 people. I think once you get too big, then you kind of lose the culture and the feel, and it gets to be a different type of animal. But if we can be 10 to 12 rock star solid agents and team members, I think that'd be kind of fun.
Does that take you out of the field
Not at
to
all.
put you in administration?
Yeah, I mean, I could see myself not going on as many appointments, absolutely. So, I've been doing this a long time, 18 years.
Wow,
But
that sounds crazy.
I know, I was thinking
My
that too.
gosh.
So, but
We
yeah.
won't talk about age or
Hey, that's
things
all
like
right.
that. Yeah,
No.
you're young. You're good.
I know. I don't feel very young, but anyway.
Depends on the day, maybe. Huh?
Oh, he is. He's young. He's a young guy.
I'm a young. I don't know. My
Well, you
hairline might tell you
started so
otherwise.
young, thanks to mom, I guess, right?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, it's 26, I guess. So.
Pretty young.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What were you doing before real estate?
Oh, I was out in Colorado. I was a ski
Skiing,
bum.
that's
Yep,
right.
That's right. I was out in those back bowls in Vail.
Oh my gosh. My sister and brother-in-law bought a house in Utah, and
Yeah.
they ski all the time.
Love
Yeah.
Utah.
And
Oh,
my brother, they're both the divorce attorneys now.
Oh, okay.
In Chicago. Well, I still don't think they've gone back to in person.
Yeah.
So they're doing Zoom. So
Okay.
they can live in Utah, and Josh would have his court dates, and then
Yeah.
they'd go skiing. And I forgot how many days he skied. It was outrageous.
Wow.
150 days or something of skiing.
really?
I might
That's
be-
awesome, though.
and I'll be-
That's the perfect life. You're
Yeah.
living the perfect life. Good
I
for
might
you.
be off on that date, but that's okay.
Hmm.
Growing the teams, that's
Yeah.
an interesting thought.
I know. I should pick your brain on that, since I mean you had that, but then got rid of that, and I don't know. I'd be curious to hear more about that.
We should do that.
Yeah.
Longer than 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've got a great mindset on business and on real estate and all that, and something that I've always looked up to. And
Yeah.
so I appreciate you being on the show.
Oh, thanks
Yeah.
for having me.
Thanks for coming.
People are going to be going, why would you have him on that show?
Yeah.
He actually sounds normal.
He sounds
And I'm
normal.
And I'm so whacked, so.
Well, you have to have somebody to balance you out every once in a while.
Yeah.
I try to do that, but wow, that's a feat. So I
That's-
can't do
that's
it by
tough.
I
myself.
can see that.
You think
Plus,
it's a little bit of
it's collaboration in this business. It really is. Like,
Yeah.
yes, you're in competition,
Oh, yeah.
but you need to have good relationships because you're going to be on the other side.
Yeah,
And you need to
that's
be
true.
able to come together and have good relationships to get your clients accepted offers.
I will tell you this, when you have that relationship, when you know that other realtor on the other side,
Yeah.
it's the easiest transaction.
It does help.
Because you both
Yeah.
are working for the same thing, and that's to bring everybody to the closing table and complete the task with the least
Mhm.
amount of stress. And sometimes you run into the realtors that want to be attorneys, and they just play one on TV, you know, but it is so much easier. When you call them, hey Josh, it's Bill, hey, what's going on? I got this offer, we were going to come in at 250,000 or whatever.
Mhm.
Hey, Bill, 250 won't work. If you can give me 260, you've got a deal. I mean, stuff like that.
Mhm.
It's honestly happens quite often. So, Josh and I need to do that more often.
Hey,
but,
let's
you know.
do it.
All right, let's get into this. See if I can-
Play some tunes.
Not that song.
What's that?
I don't know. Not that one either.
That's not it either, yeah.
Wow, look at this.
You've got it up, but it's not playing.
I've
There
got-
you go.
There you go. Our
That's
off
it.
music. We do make mistakes, but we
Yeah.
laugh at them.
That's all right. It happens.
Hey, Sun Prairie, we hope that you've enjoyed the show. We hope you have learned. Thanks again for asking for a repeat on the stats and all that. And just remember that if you're in that 200, 300 price range, you're going to be over a little bit. That 200,000 price range, it's going to be over 13%. Maybe, but you got to work with a realtor that knows the market, that's hyper focused on what's going on. And just be careful. Interview them, talk to them, and find out what's going on. It's not really the comps, it's what are the comps saying to you. Then new construction, we've talked about that. We're going to have Kim Elton on next week. She's going to share a lot of her insights on it. Is it wise to buy a house? The one that you're looking at building, is it wise? Look at square footage on this. Look at the cost per square footage and get a good reading on it. And again, work with a professional that knows new construction. Not every realtor can sell new construction. They don't have the knowledge, they don't have the wherewithal to do that. You got to find the right ones, and we can help you with that. We can point you in the right direction. So, yeah, I mean, it's not a complicated effort to buy and sell a house. You just need to have the right information. Josh Lavik, thanks for being on. Thanks for
Bill.
being here. If you want to get a hold of Josh, you can give him a shout at 608-440-9886 or go to joshlavik.com. That's Lavik,
Yeah.
joshlavik.com.
Thanks for spelling it, right?
Hey,
are-
that's all right. Thank you, Bill.
You're awesome, man. Thanks for being here. You're welcome anytime, dude.
Yeah, I appreciate you being down here.
If we don't ever call you again, you call us. And I expect the same thing from you.
Of course.
Oh man, we have a blast on TV together,
Yeah.
I tell you. Thanks, Sun Prairie, and take care. Catch you right back here on Saturday morning for Farmers Market. I'll be down there at 7 o'clock. Stop down and see me, and we'll be live on the radio. Bye, Sun Prairie. Thanks for everything.
Bye, Sun Prairie.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye now.
And we're off, except on Facebook.
Don't say